Welcome back. November 15th was America Recycles Day. James Williams sat down with Tad Davis, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army for the Environment, to find out how the Army is accomplishing its recycling goals.
The Army has fought battles for more than 230 years. It's been environment conscious for just a few decades. But the Army has made great strides in reducing its impact on the environment. Tad Davis, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army for Environment, Safety, and Occupation Health, says that's because of a values-based concept.
It talks about stewardship and accountability of each and every soldier, each and every family, each and every civilian and contractor that are part of the Army team.
Davis says recycling is more than just turning in plastic bottles. He points to the Army's focus on recycling and reusing buildings, like the 13-story Tenza Terrace family housing complex at Fort Myer, Virginia. The Army raised the structure a year ago, but salvaged much of it.
The good news story is that 92% of that structure, to include everything from washers and dryers to the concrete foundation, was reused or recycled and diverted from placement in a landfill somewhere.
Davis says construction projects now aim for a silver, if not gold, LEED rating. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It's a nationally recognized benchmark for the design, construction, and operation of high-performance green buildings. Soldiers who work at Fort Carson, Colorado's Medical Center now live in some of the most eco-friendly barracks. 70% of this building's components came from recycled materials. Still, green structures, such as this one, can cost more to build, but are less expensive in the long run.
But over the first 3 or 4 years, we're going to recoup that increased amount, and then over time, let's say the 20 or 30 years or more life cycle of that building, we're going to reduce tremendously the operations and maintenance cost of those buildings.
Davis says young soldiers are more environment conscious these days. Young people understand the benefits to the environment, he says, and they realize that they reap the cost savings from many of the Army's recycling programs.
It's kind of like frequent flyer miles. When you go on a trip, you accrue miles, and so the same thing happens de facto when you're recycling. These recycling efforts, whether it's the quality recycling program or these other initiatives, that money stays right there at Fort Hood, at Fort Jackson, at Fort Campbell.
Davis says recycling is just one aspect of the Army's sustainability approach. He says all efforts continue to support Army operations, training, ethic, innovation, technology, and the community. James Williams, Washington.